Are you a photographer looking to enhance your images and make them stand out? Then welcome to this video. This complete beginner's guide to Adobe Photoshop Lightroom, your go-to tool for professional photo editing. Whether you are working with portraits, landscapes, or a street photographer, Lightroom will transform your workflow and enhance your images to the next level. Lightroom is a powerful photo editing software that focuses on non-destructive editing. And I mean non-destructive. This means your original photos remain untouched no matter how many edits you do. And in this video, we'll cover importing and organizing photos, basic editing tools, using presets, and then exporting your image either to the web or for printing. So we start by importing images into Lightroom. So to import images, you click on Import at the bottom left here, or you go to File and click on Import Photos and Video. But they've made it so easy for you, so just look for Import at the bottom left here. Click on Import. Then it's now asking you to choose the location of the files. So if you know where the files are, you just locate it. Or you can just open your Explorer, look for the files, and then drag it into Lightroom. You drag the folder into Lightroom. So by dragging it here, it shows me thumbnails of the images in here. If I don't want to select all, I can either uncheck everything at the bottom here. But in this case, I want to import everything, so check all. The check mark by it, you just uncheck those ones that you don't want to import. So after doing that, then you click on what? Import. And then it imports the images into Lightroom. And then they are available for you to start working on. So in Lightroom, we have modules at the top right. We have the library, we have develop, map, book, slideshow, print, and web. They've just been categorized nicely for you so that you can just jump into anywhere you want to work on. If you know a bit about photography, you know we used to have something called darkroom where we develop photos when they used to be the film days. Yeah, so they created this called the develop, and when you get to the develop section, it gives you sliders where you can play with the exposure, highlights, contrast, and everything. So what the library basically helps you do is what? Gives a chance to select the pictures. So now I want to change the view of the image. It's showing me the grid format. If I want to see the pictures huge on the screen or full screen, I go to the bottom and then change the grid from grid to what? Loop view. And then I can also compare by clicking this, even people. This is a beginner's video, so you can come and play with these buttons here yourself. But for now, I can start images so that it will quickly show me the image I want to work on. If I want to start an image, I can press from 1 to 5. So the ones I want to work on, I'll press 5. And it adds a rating to it. I go to the next image. Okay, do I want to work on this? Okay, 5. Let me start it. How about this one? Okay, I'll work on this too. How about this? Yes. So I'll start them. And if I realize, oh, you made a mistake and you want to remove the star on an image, you just go to that same image and press 0 and it removes the star. So I'm bringing it back. After you start the images you want, if you want to filter them, you go to filter at the bottom right, click on it, and then you can choose rated. So it shows only the images that have been starred or have the star rating to it. By doing this, it helps you to keep your workspace tidy so that you can just work on the images you want to work on at a particular time. The image looks too cold, you can take it to the right and it makes it more reddish by making it a little warm, like warm sunlight. If it's too warm, you bring it down to make it look cool. But hey, I'm bringing it to the middle there. So you just sliders. Then you come to the exposure. And the exposure helps you to either make the image brighter or a little darker. So this image looks too bright. I can reduce the exposure a little bit. Yes, okay. Increase the contrast. Play with the highlights. Play with the shadows. And the shadows helps you to, if you take it to the left, it adds more shadows. You take it to the right, it removes the shadows and make the image a little brighter. Whites and highlights behave similar, but they are different. So you can drag them to either enhance the whites in the image. Then if the image looks too dark, you can reduce the blacks in the image. So blacks and shadows move hand in hand. Then presence. I mean, you can add texture to the image and make it look very grungy. Clarity also adds more texture. Dehaze, one wonderful feature where if the image looks a bit foggy, it makes the image look almost like normal. So if you take images that are foggy, use the dehaze to bring them up. Then vibrance, vibrance and saturation. It pops the colors. So don't overdo them, otherwise the image looks too bright. Or look at what the vibrance does. And then saturation, look at that. So it makes it begin to look fake and very cartoony. When I take the saturation slider all the way to 0, it just turns the image black and white. It takes all the colors out. So that's what the saturation and then the vibrance also does. Now let's talk about presets. So presets are like filters, but they are fully customizable. Lightroom offers built-in presets, and you can download more online, then tweak individual settings to make it your own. So if you check at the left side here, you can find the presets. And some presets, if you can't find them, look for the presets under the navigation and then click on the arrow by it, and it gives you access to all the presets. If you are not sure, just play with them. So let me get to, for instance, this image. And I want to try some presets on it. So I can just jump straight to landscape presets and then try some presets on it. So the moment I click on it, it starts what? So the looks that have already been set automatically are applied to the image. There are presets for food. And funny enough, you might see a preset for something else, but when you come and try it on your image, that preset might even work better. So look at preset for food, but I think I'm even liking it on this image. And this, if you want to see the before and after, you can press Y, the keyboard shortcut, and it shows us the before and after. I press L to hide all the things in the background so I can see it well. And then Shift Tab to make it look very big to compare my images well. And I think I like what the preset has done. You can press L back, Shift Tab, and then Y. So Y shows the before and after. And if you just want to see the image before and after, you press the backslash and it shows you the before and after. So like you can quickly see what you're doing and see whether you like it or not. I'm going to play with more presets and then go to lifestyle, for instance. Apply this, apply that. Right. So you can see what presets that. There are settings that have already been worked on by either the Lightroom developers, or you can buy presets online, like from Envato Elements, from photographers who are also selling their presets. You even have black and white presets. Just tap on it once and it just does a beautiful black and white for you. If you want to adjust more, you can also come into your image and then play with it some more. You can even go down further. You can also do lens corrections. Add special effects. You can add some grains to the image to make it look a bit artistic and add some things. You can also add vignette, and a vignette is what? Making the edges of the image look a bit dark. So for the vignette, when I bring it to the left, it adds some black to the image so that it focuses your attention to the center of the image. To the right, it adds a whitish system. And what I've realized is that if you're working on babies or toddlers, baby photography, adding the white vignette looks interesting. But for landscape and working on adults, I normally use the blacks. So another example is this image here. If you are in a hurry, you can also play with the auto button at the top here. They've given you 3 auto options. First auto, black and white, which is also auto, but it just does black and white for you. And then HDR, which is high dynamic range, which we will talk more in subsequent videos. So I can just click on auto and it quickly looks for its calculations. And I think this looks very decent. If it's maybe the edges look too bright for me, I can lower the white a bit and then maybe lower the highlights so that it's a bit gentle to my eyes. Then maybe add a little bit of vignette also to it. Yeah, and I think so if you are okay with your image and then you are satisfied with what you do, it's time to export your image. And in this video, we discuss import, editing, and then exporting. That's the 3 things you're going to do. So to export, you go to File at the top, the File menu, then you click on Export. So you choose where to export to. It says to my hard drive, yes. Export to desktop, I said no. Export to same folder as original photos. Put in a subfolder, so I can say maybe export to edited. I name it that. Existing files. That's what to do. I mean, it means if you have the file name already exists where you're going, you can tell it to what? Overwrite or give it a new name or skip. Then rename to. I can also rename the file here just by looking for options here and then rename the file. Then the file settings. I'm choosing JPEG. You can also choose PSD, TIFF, PNG, and original. I'm sure you know most of them, but in subsequent videos, I'll even talk about file formats and what they all mean and when to use this and then when not to use this. So I'm using PNG. If you are working for the web, change the resolution to 72. It makes the file small and it can go on the web easily, but it's still very sharp and good looking. If you are going to print, use a high resolution. Ideally, when I'm going to print, I use a resolution of 240. So 240. Then we can also sharpen for screen or for standard. These are things you can play with yourself. You can add some sharpening the image. The metadata, you can decide to say, hey, include all, copyright only, and these are things that came from the camera that it was captured with. So after that, do you want to add a watermark? If you have a watermark, a logo of yours which you have already put in Lightroom, you can make it apply on the image by default. But hey, we don't want to apply anything. Then after export, what do? It says what? Should it open a new folder in the Explorer? Should it open the image in Photoshop or any other application? If that's what I want, I'll say I choose what I want to do. But I'll say after exporting, do nothing. Then I click on what? Export. And then just like that, it's done exporting. So some quick tips you need to know as a beginner. The crop tool. And you can find the crop tool just below the histogram, right section here. You click on the crop tool and it gives you the crop tool. So you can just crop the image to how you want it. You are done, you click on enter and it has cropped. And I said Lightroom works on your images, but it doesn't destroy anything. Your original images you brought are still there for you all the way to the end, non-destructively. So if you've cropped and you say, no, I think I cropped some things out which I never wanted to, you just click on the crop tool again. It gives you everything and you can crop back. Isn't it amazing? If the image looks a bit crooked, maybe something like this, you can use the angle tool to try and straighten the image. Maybe use your eyes here and say, and it tries to give you an image. You can also find some custom crop settings are also available for you to use, like the square, one by one, ideal for Instagram images and stuff like that. And then you have 5x7, and you can even enter it, just enter your custom distance. You can click on it and enter the numbers yourself. So that's got to do with the crop tool. You can also play with the hue and saturation panel to target specific colors. So for instance, I want to target the reds mainly in this image. I pick the eyedropper tool, click on the red, and then it gives me the chance to play with the colors independently. So I'm able to play with the red, turn it to that yellow or orange independently. Hey, let me not destroy my beautiful Ghana flag. All right, and then I can also target the green. So the hue and saturation adjustment panel gives you the chance to target individual colors. That's as you can see here. And then keyboard shortcuts. Learn keyboard shortcuts to enhance your workflow. Keyboard shortcuts make you work fast. For instance, a keyboard shortcut like V just turns the image to black and white. And so knowing this makes you very fast. If I want to view the image full screen, Shift Tab, and then press L to hide the distraction in the background so I can see the image quickly. Press Y to show you the before and after. Y again to hide it. If you press the forward slash, it shows you still the before and after, but it doesn't put them side by side. So Y shows you, it compares side by side, and then forward slash just shows you the before and after. So these are keyboard shortcuts you should know. The L, which does hiding the Shift Tab, and Shift Tab brings the whole things to the background. Gives you the chance to see the editing, sliders and everything. Shift Tab again hides everything so that you can focus on the image to see if you really like it. And that's it for our Lightroom beginner's guide. Start experimenting and watch your photography skills soar. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tutorials. Drop a comment with your favorite Lightroom tip or ask any question. See you in the next video.